Well, this week in censorship, a woman started a petition on change.org, which now has over 30,000 signatures and is making headlines across the country, urging the Oxford Dictionary to remove certain words that she finds offensive. Apparently, the woman behind this mess looked up the word woman in the dictionary and doesn't like some of the synonyms, which include the B word and a bunch of other words like peace, mare, wench, bird, and biddy. If this sounds familiar, it's because back in June, the Babylon Bee, a popular parody news website, published this story as a joke titled Vox calls for dictionary.com to take down definitions of words they don't like. Predicting the future and proving that it's impossible to distinguish a parody from something liberals actually believe, they wrote, quote, Carlos Maza, a video journalist who works for Vox, has been calling out dictionary.com for posting definitions of words that are very upsetting. I have informed dictionary.com of the many definitions I find problematic. You literally can't tell the difference anymore. This is the Babylon Bee's parody article. This is CNN.com. In other news, YouTube just emailed hundreds, perhaps thousands of channels, telling them that next month they're going to remove their verification checkmark, which, as you know, is featured on all social media platforms to confirm that the account belongs to who it says it belongs to. Before social media companies started verifying accounts in the early days of the industry, anybody could open an account in anybody's name and start posting as them, and there was no way to know whether it actually was them. Verified accounts on YouTube also prevent trolls from opening accounts in the same name of a YouTube channel and then commenting in the comments and tricking people into thinking that it's the YouTuber posting the comments. So far, I haven't gotten one of these emails, but it's probably on its way, and they read, quote, Hi there! We're writing to let you know we're updating the eligibility criteria for channel verification on YouTube. Unfortunately, with these changes, your channel no longer meets the criteria to be verified. We realize this might be disappointing, but we believe these updates will make channel verification more consistent for users and creators across YouTube. This is the most Orwellian thing I've ever read. Removing the verification badge means that you can't tell whether a channel is the official YouTube presence of the creator you're looking for, but they're claiming that they're helping people determine whether or not the channel is the official channel they're looking for. In the future, I wouldn't be surprised if YouTube completely demonetizes 99.9% of all of the channels, except for a small group of selected individuals that they'll welcome into the YouTube family. Recently, YouTube has changed their entire revenue model, and last year they were testing in a few markets being their own cable service provider, essentially, offering the same channels as cable service providers or the Dish Network over the internet. And at the beginning of this year, they expanded to cover 98% of the country, and soon they will have 100% coverage. This means that people are paying a monthly subscription to YouTube, just like they would their cable provider, to get television channels like MSNBC, ESPN, the History Channel, etc. They're also trying to become the next Netflix by producing their own original series, like the Karate Kid spin-off Cobra Kai, and they're also renting streams of movies, of popular blockbuster movies, for $3 or $4 per stream. A new survey shows that many Generation Z kids, those are those behind the millennials, are starting to pay attention to the news, current events, and politics, and guess where they're turning for that news? It's YouTube. So, of course, Susan Wojcicki is going to be scrambling to stop them from finding channels like mine. 2 years ago, Twitter announced that they would stop verifying people after certain unsavory individuals got verified, but they quietly kept verifying people who they wanted to. Speaking of Twitter, they just suspended my friend Gary Franchi's business account for his YouTube channel, The Next News Network, without giving any reason whatsoever. They didn't just lock him out for 24 hours or 7 days, they completely banned The Next News Network. Instagram also just took down a picture of Caitlyn Bennett and Millie Weaver at the gun range, claiming that it's dangerous and that violates their community guidelines. Laura Loomer is suing Facebook for banning her. She was banned along with Paul Joseph Watson, Milo Yiannopoulos, and others because she was criticizing Elon Omar. And so Facebook just filed a motion in that lawsuit where they admit that they are a publisher, and they're telling the court that as a publisher, they shouldn't be forced to publish certain information that they don't want to. That's interesting because when Mark Zuckerberg testified in front of Congress last year, he said that they are not a publisher, they are just a tech company. Mark Zuckerberg just met with President Trump in the Oval Office yesterday, and while we don't know the details of that conversation, I am confident that the president and his staff are quite a bit more informed about the situation than they were just a few months ago. Speaking of social media censorship, I have a new book coming out this November which details what's been going on over the last few years, and I'll tell you more about it as the release date approaches. Or actually, I won't because it's a big secret. So I'll just tell you the day that it comes out, and then maybe we can get it to #1 on Amazon.com and watch Brian Stelter cry. You can't pre-order it, and I'm not exactly sure on the release date, but the day that it becomes in stock on Amazon.com, I will reveal it, and it's gonna be awesome. This book has over 900 footnotes, and if you've read my previous books, The True Story of Fake News and Liberalism Find a Cure, then you know how serious and in-depth the books are. It's a totally different side to me. If you guys haven't read any of my books, I hope you guys will get this one the day that it comes out, the day I announce it, so we can focus all the sales on that one day and push it up to #1 on Amazon.com. Until then, subscribe to my channel if you're new here, and if you guys enjoy watching these videos, click some of the links in the description below to support the channel, or head on over to markdice.com and get one of my awesome shirts, like the Abraham Lincoln Trump shirt, the JFK Trump shirt, or any of my awesome designs. Of course, all available in a t-shirt, long sleeve, and a hoodie. So head on over to markdice.com, or click the link in the description below and check them out.